Or natural.
Oh, y'all, let's start this puppy. What's good, baby boys? This is your host, the South Coast poster child, aka the mannequin from Newtown. I go by the name of Jackson Grant. And that right there on the ones and twos, that's a man you know and love. He goes by the name of the Terry Crews of Sydney, aka the Steamroller. Caribbealo.
Look at him.
How the hell are you doing, my dude?
I'm doing good. He hates that thing.
Right over here, we got the Green Goblin of Sydney, Lachlan McAllister.
Trains are my favourite.
You know how hard I work for this?
And we got...
You know how much I sacrifice?
I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. And right over here, we got the boy Fadey.
Samalama
Do this to me.
What do you want to be, the Hobgoblin?
The SSP.
You know how much I sacrifice?
Whoa. I know
It's
you're
one of my favourite scenes.
I'm sacrificing about, $231.
You're probably going to be sacrificing a
what the fine
lamb for
is.
some weird...
Hey,
being
it's not
born,
my
right?
land.
You're not getting a fine, and if you do, it's not going to be $35.
It's not my land. It's not your land either. Give it back.
Oh, yeah, you're literally going to go over, aren't you?
Would you? Well, I don't mind. For the viewers, I will take a fine.
So you parked just down the road.
Don't do that, man.
No, don't get me wrong. It's too late now.
You've done this a few times. And I'm
Well,
like,
now because I got to walk down. It's like, okay, so
you did this once. You just like parked right at the front of KFC. This like right in the
My
middle
friend-
of the city. You were like, I'll be good. Let's go do the podcast. I'll be back in 2 hours. And like, you're not going to get a ticket. It's like, no, they're not going to check.
that time
in the
I
middle
didn't.
of Sydney.
Okay, funny enough, that time I didn't get a ticket.
That's one of the craziest
So,
things.
I have weird luck, and it's like, I have weird luck when it comes to, and I'm probably bad to say, but I'll like park on like a disabled spot,
It's crazy.
but like late at night, because I'm like, come on.
See him walking out like that is good.
People in wheelchairs shouldn't be out after
Well, because
nightfall.
believe it or not, the disabled fine I think is like less than the no parking, like the
Can
no
you get
stopping.
fined for being disabled?
Well, no. They're like, no. He just doesn't
Sorry,
have.
buddy.
He
I
just
think-
doesn't have.
I don't think disabled people should be allowed to park in our parking spots.
Oh, yes.
Well, no.
yeah,
That's
true.
Not fair.
That's so fair.
okay. That's. I feel like that's a hate
Can
crime.
girls go to the bathroom?
I think so.
If a guy goes into a girl's bathroom, that's like they should be arrested.
No, I
Almost. A
No.
girl
Well, what
can
it's
kinda
a
go into
like it's a not transgender
You guys ever
bathroom,
go
but it's
Yeah. Huh?
I go in them sometimes if I like need a shit. It's the men's. It's disgusting.
That's
what the
crazy.
disabled ones.
No,
the
the
disabled ones are
The
the best.
women's.
No.
Women's.
Girls
No, well, the
ones are
disabled
usually
ones are the
We'll
best.
all hit a
bathroom.
good disabled
Fuck.
bathroom.
Yeah. I think everyone does. That's all normal. So it's like, why aren't we allowed to like park in their spaces if they're not there? Do you know what I mean? Like I saw this guy the other day. Would this happen today?
They're
This
not
literally
there. They
happened
could
today.
come. That's kinda what it
right?
is.
He goes
We live
to
in a
me.
society.
He
Fine.
goes to me.
Come on.
So he goes to me. It's a disabled. So I'm parked in like the middle of the city, like down Pitt Street. I'm dropping off some goods to like a construction company. So I've got to just be
Sounds
there.
so sus.
I swear to God, I've just got to be there. And so
Okay.
I'm like in my car. I'm in my car. I'm waiting for the
Some
guy
construction
to
company.
come down from the building to like get the stuff. And then I'm just parked up, and then there's a car who's like parked next to me, and he sees that my like car's still on, and so he's just like to me, he goes, that's a disabled parking spot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm only gonna be like 5 or 10 minutes. I felt really bad.
What's he doing?
I'm like,
Does he want to park there? Or
well,
what?
he wanted to park there.
Was he disabled?
No, that's the funny thing. He wasn't disabled. I'm like,
How do you know?
Well, he had a
wouldn't have been
sticker.
talking smack if he
Well, this
wasn't.
is the crazy thing. He
It
had
was
the
after
sticker.
I was done with him.
He had the sticker, but he didn't look disabled at all.
Yeah, you don't have to.
So I'm like,
what do you mean
how-
look disabled? You could have like cerebral palsy. You could
Look,
be,
and
like,
I felt
quadriplegic.
bad. Don't get me wrong. So I literally just said to him, look,
I can
you're
imagine
already
Fadey going up to a
double
guy in a
parked.
wheelchair and be like, hello? Can I help you?
Nah, it's like,
Can I help you?
no. I go up
Sorry,
to
I'm
him.
a doctor.
I go up to him. I go, brother,
Good. Wow.
brother,
I'm
where's?
so proud.
I go in there, brother. Where's
Very
the permit?
impressive.
I see the wheelchair, but where's the permit?
So what was this? Was this guy?
So I'm like to him, you're already
Paraplegic?
double parked,
Yeah.
right? And you're not blocking anyone technically because there's still one lane, like they can go around him in that. So I'm just like, just double park for another 5 minutes. I'm moving off. You know, like I'd rather not be double parked because I'm already parked in this spot. So instead of me having to get out of the
So you're
spot,
making him double.
You're making him wait for you.
so I'm just like
is
wait for
crazy.
5
Why
minutes.
disabled
5 minutes.
people-
Why don't
Why-
you just move to? Why don't you double park?
Because
He
okay,
has to get out.
because it's way more effort when you think about it for me to get out of that spot.
No, it isn't.
It's trust me, it is.
He has to wait for you for
Well,
5
because
minutes.
he was okay. So he was parked
and he
right
actually
in line.
has a sticker.
brother,
But this is the funny thing.
brother. If I'm getting a fine, you're getting a fucking fine as well.
That's okay. The crazy thing is they can't. The ticketies can't give you a fine if you're in your car.
Brother,
Because
I'm just hitting
think they
arms
can.
quickly. I just want to
they
go in
can't.
there and get a pump.
They can't. They have
be
to
back.
legally.
Maybe not if you're in your
Trust
car
me.
screaming
They
at
have
them.
to. No. They have to. I've never screamed at a parking inspector. I literally went up to one parking inspector and I was like to a. I was like to
Yeah,
her.
was it-
I swear to
yeah.
God, I was like to her. Excuse me, because I literally saw her walk past my car, and I was just there for like 2 minutes. Because sometimes you're not gonna go and do the freaking thing if you're just gonna run in real quick and drop something off.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just like to her. I just want to know. Did you find me? Right. And I was just literally asking. And her response to me was, "Yeah, of course I did." Like it was just like so like blatantly like just in your face.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Bro, I just asked." I'm like, "I don't really care."
Would you want her to lie to you?
It's well.
How else should
no,
she
I
done
think
it?
I think if she just says yes,
Or
like
just like a little yeah.
it's like a little yeah. I would have been cool with it. Either way, I wasn't gonna like ask her to like remove the because it's in the system.
I
so it's
think
like,
if you
they
went and got a
can't.
ticket at that time, you
No.
have a case.
I'm just telling you.
That
I'm just
happened to
telling
me
you.
once.
I'm just
I
telling
did
you
that,
some
and I
of the
went and got a
ticketies.
ticket,
I'm
and I
just
never got
telling
a
you
fine.
some of the ticketies are just complete assholes because they become like that. I feel like they become like
Yeah,
that
everyone's-
because
yeah.
everyone's on their ass.
They're
for
the
it.
bad
And
guys.
so that's a fair call. But I was like, I still approached her like normally in that. And so it's like, of course you're gonna like if you give that off, you give that, then you're gonna get that back.
It's like their
regardless.
passion.
Well,
They
it's
get
like-
excited about it.
I know.
I think it's just
come
like
on,
autistic
man.
people where it's been like.
It's like, come on, man,
No,
I gotta
you
hit my
can't.
quota.
Just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like they have KPIs.
You had till 5.
Yeah, they
26.
do, yeah.
I always
Like
think they have
this-
KPIs.
well, that's crazy
I
that
met
they
so
have
many chill
KPIs.
ones,
Yeah, it's a-
though.
it's a
so
money-making
many chill
thing.
ones.
This is what I'm saying to you. It's called like the money goes to SDRO, which is the State Debt Recovery Organization, which basically means that the state's making money on this. I feel like you should be able to haggle on your fines. Like if you have like
You can if you go into court, but like.
well,
you gotta
this
spend
is
the
what
whole
I'm saying
fucking
to you. But they make the system in such a way where you're like, I don't know how I'm going to start and blah blah blah. So I'm not going to be just confident enough. Like people have trouble public speaking as it is. So it's like I'm not going to go to court and then try and convince people because I have
that
done
jump
this.
to public speaking is absolutely
Well, it's
insane.
true. It's true. You're still in a courtroom and you still have to explain yourself to a bunch of people.
I've never
And so a
thought
lot of
about
people-
that. I've
What
never
a
lot
thought
of
about the
people are
public
like,
speaking
what could
element.
they
Think
do?
about it, bro. Think about it. It's somebody. So
I
why do you
wasn't
think?
guilty of that murder, but I'm a little bit shy on stage.
I think this is why.
Thank you, Your Honor, and the jury
Do you
for
ever
having me
see?
today.
Okay. Do you ever see
Um,
those guys who like get like a death sentence, and then they like just out of nowhere they just jump the like barriers and shit, and they try and tackle the
Yeah.
fuck out of the judge.
Yes.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Anxiety. So the
Oh, so they're just
anxiety has been
nervous. They're
building,
trying to
right?
have to
Because this
speak.
guy can't do anything. He can't fucking speak because his lawyer has to speak. So it's all this anxiety and like fucking like shit just building up for him. This like PTSD.
Just
and then
total loss of control.
this is
over
what I'm
it.
saying to you. And then she hits that thing and goes, or he or she hits
like
that thing
you
and
started with a
goes.
she. That's really
Well, most judges are she's, believe it or not.
wow.
It's
Well,
true.
or she's judge.
Okay.
All right.
That could get a payout of something if you give them. He got-
all she's judge?
Well, she's
Women judge.
What does that mean?
Or women
Oh.
judge. You.
Okay, I feel like
Let's
yeah.
just keep
Oh,
digging the hole.
she's judge.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a really
Yeah, I know.
strange thing,
I
yeah.
know.
My mum wants to
I
be a
appreciate
judge,
it.
I know.
which is quite funny. My mum wants to be a judge, and she's on the way.
Oh,
So
that's
which is
why
good.
you're so scared of people tackling
No,
judges.
I'm just. Well, my mum would actually be hard enough to like. She would jump at him.
Yeah.
Like
She'll
my
jump
mum.
back.
Yeah, because my mum's a tough lady. Like I remember one of the the earliest recollections I have, and I probably shouldn't share this, but like
You don't have to.
Yeah, I probably really shouldn't.
Let's hear it.
One of
Apparently,
the
someone
earliest
may or may not have done
recollections.
something. What-
Yeah, one of the earliest recollections I have of my mum is I was probably 3 or 4 years old. I was just like she had just made me some scrambled eggs or whatever the fuck, and so I was just eating them straight out the pan. And I was home at the time because like my older sister, my 2 older sisters,
Because I was double parked. I couldn't get out.
it's parked in a disabled spot out the front of my
Your
house.
sister's older.
Yeah, they're old too. Like they're like a couple of years older than me. I
I thought
think
you had
one or two.
younger ones.
No, I did have one younger one.
many kids- how
Too
many
young.
sisters do you
She's too
have?
young. She's not
She's-
18
she's
yet.
Chinese.
Korean, so,
I get it.
Um,
That was good.
That
That was
fucking
good. That
podcast
got-
is corrupt.
I don't like this. You and Ramsey have been here too many times. You know the board.
I
now.
know.
Yeah. No, there's a look in Karim's eye when he goes, "That was good." Fuck.
She's always judge.
yeah, that.
Wait,
So
scrambled
she's-
eggs.
Yeah, and I remember that time. I remember like some guys coming over to our house, and my mum just being staunch about these guys getting the fuck out of our house, and she was really staunch about it. And I remember my dad was around at the time, and even my dad was like sort of being a bitch about it.
Who were these dudes?
And so my mum was just like, just some dudes, you know, just some
guys.
just some guys, but like
Just
not
some fellas.
and
Just
but
some fellas coming
kind of
over.
like half official guys, but like kind of like half not official as well. So it was-
wearing like police shirts.
okay,
but then,
just
like,
let's just
board
picture
shorts
like
down the bottom.
let's just picture like Men in Black, like just picture Men in Black, right? But like the Middle Eastern version, and like these guys just came to our house.
Men in
We're just saying some shit, and then my mum
Men
was
in
just.
what?
Well, I remember my mum just being so staunch. She was just like, "Get the fuck out of our house," and blah blah blah. And then I remember my mum also being like so staunch that she looked back for a second and she saw me at the front door just eating my thing. And then in the middle of that, as she's literally going off at these like fucking 3-4 grown men, she turns around, starts going off at me as well. She gets to get your fucking ass back in the house.
Dang.
And I remember just being so scared that I like ran back inside the house. And then a couple seconds
texting
later,
now. This never happened.
funny enough, a couple seconds later, my dad comes back in the house. So it's like my mom's like just being so fucking like she's just blown up like in her head that she's made my dad go back in, me go back in, and then these guys she's made them leave. So I just remember my mum being just a staunch character since I was a kid. And
kinda
so
listen to her.
she does really like she's a lawyer now. So she's
She a lawyer?
Yeah. She's like she does immigration law.
Whoa.
Ironic.
Yeah, she's just quite ironic actually because she wants to give back. So there was a story of a guy. There was a story of a guy who got locked up. Remember the guy who remember when Novak Djokovic was like locked up in like this hotel in Melbourne?
Why
Right?
was he there?
Well, because of COVID. So he had to
Okay.
go because he had COVID. Or because he
Locked up.
Well, because he didn't want to. Well, he wasn't really locked up.
Yeah.
He was in a hotel.
That's why not leave.
Wish I could get locked up
Right?
in the 4 seasons.
Okay, so
I could do it with a weekend or
so
a few weeks there.
realistically,
he's got
there was
room
some
service every
so,
meal.
so that hotel wasn't just a one-off hotel. That hotel is actually being used by the Australian government currently, and what they do is they house immigrants in
Oh.
there. So that
In a luxury hotel.
not
With
I wouldn't
Novak.
say luxury hotel because it doesn't have any
stars?
windows.
How many stars?
Doesn't have any windows.
How many
I
windows?
think
How many-
2.5, like max.
What? And he was in the same place.
He was in the same place.
Whoa.
So
that is locked up.
That is locked
well,
up.
Well, because the different
Them there,
section.
not Novak.
Nah, and to be quite
Novaks.
to be quite
they
fair,
definitely use that
Yeah.
headline.
to be
with
quite
Novak.
fair, it's actually it seems almost unethical to put them in there because where they came from, like, is a big step up from where they came from because where they came from was Christmas Island. So these guys
Oh, so that should be
usually-
somewhere even less. 2 stars is almost too
Well,
good.
so the only reason you would end up on Christmas Island is if they catch you on a boat, right?
Or is it?
And if you're in the Naughty list.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. I gave that to you. Right? So that's what they
Just
do.
to sit with a bunch of refugees.
That's what they do.
Scared kids.
So,
The
it's-
elves.
so there was a guy.
I didn't go inside when Mum said.
Yeah, so there was a guy that was also locked up in the same hotel, but he'd been locked up there, I think, for 8 years, which is a crazy amount of, like, just being locked up in the same room for 8 years.
How bad was his COVID?
Imagine the room service bill.
I think he had the OG variant, you know.
When he was
like-
locked up for being a refugee.
he was being locked up because
He discovered the adults only channel.
Okay,
He
so
voluntarily locked himself up.
the only reason that they brought him to Australia is they could only bring people from Christmas Island to Australia on medical grounds. That's it. That's it. So if you're
Imagine being from
basically,
Christmas Island having like decorations, like the funny.
I'm about to
balls
really
and
make
stuff
this
like
not
that.
a thing.
Yeah.
So most of the guys that were in that hotel room had either experienced severe like mental illnesses while being
on Christmas Island.
on Christmas Island, or have had several attempts at suicide.
Whoa.
And because of their unwellness, they were transferred to the now
Some hotel.
Not
in
very
Christmas
Christmassy.
Island, they control in Christmas Island. So I just want to put this out. On Christmas Island, they control everything: the water, the food, the medicine. They
What did they
control
get
everything.
fed? Milk and
Right?
cookies?
They actually
They're forced to
take
dress up like Santa Claus, all of them. It's like a Sudanese family. Santa hat,
Christmas
Santa
Island?
hat on.
Oh, yeah, Christmas Island, least amount of presents you get. You know what I mean? Like for a place that is like called Christmas Island, they even take away the
There's a heavy
gutters.
police presence.
So they're not police. Actually, they're not police. They're actually
Jewish
like,
people don't go there. They go to a different one.
Oh, we won't bring it up.
They do
Jews
their
in
own
this.
thing.
Come on.
Come on, it's a Hanukkah joke. We get that. We got that. Comment there.
Hanukkah Island.
That's where Jeffrey Epstein was. That was little St. James's alter ego.
I mean, I need a little bit more zinc than that
I
at
think,
this island.
I think Bill Clinton made a few trips to Hanukkah Island, if you know what I mean, folks.
But yeah, just a very bad
A lot of,
place.
celebrities we know and love.
Bad place.
We're on
Christmas
the
Island,
flight
very
logs to
bad place.
Hanukkah Island.
So the reason why I brought this up was there was a guy on there that literally sued the Australian government for putting him in there for so long because there was no need for them to put him in there for so long. That was the thing. And he'd watched several mates commit suicide and die, and so that was quite a sad thing. And so as soon as he came out of that prison
You got to start asking, like, what are you doing?
/
at that
hotel.
point?
Okay,
Your sixth friend in
how
front
about
of you
this?
kills
Well, how about
himself.
this? Well, how about this?
Maybe it's me.
Well, how
Maybe
about
I've
how
got
about this?
something
How about this?
wrong.
How about this? How about this? So this is an incredible story because he ends up being put in there for 8 years. As soon as he comes out, he goes straight to uni, right?
Yeah.
He goes straight to uni, spends 4 years
He's
learning.
doing, like, a creative degree. He's like learning how to draw.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But he did exactly the opposite. He actually learnt every single one of the Australian laws, right?
Is
And
that the exact opposite?
promise to you, that's exactly what he did. And what he did afterwards
Yeah.
was he went, as soon as he graduated, he went and he put a case out to the Australian government and was like, you guys fucked me. Okay?
Ooh, for the
You
8
got-
years.
You guys fucked me for the 8 years. Now I'm suing. And guess what? He won.
How much?
Crazy.
Doesn't matter.
It's almost,
Doesn't matter. No.
it's almost like we shouldn't have let him in.
How about this? 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 The funny thing is, this is where you see where the human side really comes in, right? Because I had the same first perspective, right? How I know about this story so well is one, it got a lot of media attention, right? Because of Novak. Because
2, it was me.
Because guess what? Because of Novak, people were actually looking up at this hotel. And they were like, well, because Novak's going, I'm stuck in here. Guess what? There's a guy below him who's like, I'm also stuck in here. I've been here for 6 years.
That's crazy.
Get me out of this bitch. This guy's been here for 6 days and he's been bitching about it. We've been here for 6 years. And this is
Maybe they should have spoke up sooner.
I don't think people look up.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing, is I don't think people look up long enough to see these people that are literally stuck in a hotel room, a 1-bedroom by one, like by
Can
one
they go out and
bathroom.
walk, though?
There's no exercise. There's no this.
You don't let them
there's
physically leave the premises.
I don't. I highly doubt that they were able to leave. Go and search his story up. His name is like fuck. I forgot his name because he's got a real like
Where's he
ethnic
from?
name. He's Iranian. I'm pretty sure, or Kurdish, or Iranian, or Iraqi. I have no idea, but one of those three. But I know that he sued for millions and won. And then I was on the basis because my mum literally brought this story up to me because she was doing an essay about this guy.
Spent it all on hair gel.
And so, well, no.
know,
So,
there's something about
with her
Iranians
essay,
like hair
she was
gel.
genuinely asking me.
They will smell me from kilometers away.
So she was
You see
genuinely.
this huge
So she was
Elvis Presley hair.
So she was genuinely.
Wrong.
So she was genuinely asking me, "Do you think he should be awarded the losses or not?" And my first opinion was exactly like Lochie. We shouldn't fucking let this guy in. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's now fucking us over. Every other guy's going to do this. And she was like, well, what they did to him was inhumane. They would take away the gutters on Christmas Island. The natives would try and feed the immigrants, and then they would beat the natives. So they would punish the natives. I'm
bad.
being serious.
Don't feed them. They'll become dependent on you.
Listen to me.
They'll keep
listen to
coming
me.
over.
This sounds like we're talking about like the 1800s, but it's not.
Yeah,
this happened
yeah.
last year. This happened the year before. Do you know? And so this is quite the crazy thing.
How about
is
some
like,
good things about Christmas Island? Probably stop being so
just the
negative.
name, I think. Just the name.
It's pretty cool.
Just the name. Everything else is deceiving.
Imagine being a kid going to Christmas Island.
Well, it's like
That'd
being-
be so much fun.
It's like being a guy. It's like
So
being
much
a
fun.
guy like named Big Al, and then he's just a little guy, and his name's actually
That's
Alan.
true, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything, like it just throws you off.
Yeah.
But I promise to you, that place should be shut down. That's like the Guantanamo Bay equivalent of Australia.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we are not as fucked as the Americans. That's why we don't have. We actually do have several Guantanamo Bays, but they're hidden across Australia. Fucking go to the what was the one that like Friendly Geordies try to go to?
Oh, that
the
was
Pine
more.
Gap.
That was intelligence.
There's probably some guys.
There's probably some guys in there.
Let's be honest.
What do you mean?
You
Refugees
have
or
enough.
what?
You have enough
Oh,
space
torturing
Yeah.
people,
to fit
yeah.
some fucking alien ships and some fucking warheads in there. You can squeeze a couple of fucking guys.
Imagine torturing
guys
someone
in
to go to
orange in there.
Darwin.
You know what I
Have to
mean?
live in Darwin.
Well, that is
Just the
torture.
terrorists being like,
That is
"I need to
torture.
get Darwin."
That is the torture.
They
Hey,
should do that. Just send
Darwin.
them to Darwin.
Hey,
Let them stay
Darwin.
here.
Darwin.
Okay, live.
Oh, it's just
Tell us who you're working for.
they're just like
like 9 hours later. It's like, okay.
the fucking the aircon down there is an esky. Like that's it. You just get an esky and some ice and like fucking make this last.
Christmas
motherfucker.
Island's probably better than Darwin.
No. Christmas Island is a very
Worse
bad.
than Darwin.
Have you been
Worse
to
than
Darwin?
Have you been to
I've been
Darwin?
to. I haven't been to Darwin, but I've seen a lot of Darwin. Don't get me wrong. I think
Wait, what?
I've seen a lot of Darwin. You are allowed to see a lot of Darwin online.
Without-
Think about it.
Okay, you're looking on.
Yeah, I mean Spaniard's been to Darwin, so I've been to Darwin.
Yeah. I always get so confused.
And I've been wherever Spaniard's been. All right,
What's worse? Is
digitally.
it Alice
All right,
Springs?
listen, brother. It was 4K, so I was there. I was there.
That's Darwin. I always get it confused. Darwin, Alice Springs. Alice Springs is nice. I don't know. The
Nah, Alice
geography of
Springs is a
Australia.
real
Yeah,
like
Is that
rough.
okay? That's
yeah
bad.
rough place.
Is Darwin further north than Alice Springs?
Darwin's like top. I'm pretty sure.
Darwin's on the water.
No, Darwin's on the left, right?
Darwin's right at the top. Alice Springs is further down.
Yeah, Alice Springs,
Alice
I think
Springs
is
heaps
up.
inland.
Okay, so I'm thinking
Ah,
of Darwin
heaps
then.
inland,
Yeah,
okay,
Darwin's
yeah.
the worst.
All I know is that it's in the NT, right?
Yeah.
Like in the end.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know.
And then Perth is like Western Australia.
Perth apparently is great.
It's
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
alright.
If
Everyone
you're
says it's
white,
great. I've never-
I
have
think
you
if
been
you're
to Perth?
white,
I've been
I
a
think
few
it's great if
times.
you're
Really?
white.
It's just it's really hot and there's nothing to do.
I think
thought it's like really hot up or something.
Oasis is going to play in Perth.
Are they?
That's the only place they're playing in Australia.
I think it's like the
Yeah.
Perth in the UK.
Yeah, that's that. But
Oh
that's
my,
that-
can't wait to go
Hey,
to
but that's their,
it's
that's
like
their
Perth.
crowd. That's their crowd.
Yeah. Also,
UK.
if you do something in Perth, you can charge heaps of money for it because it's all rich FIFOs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I've heard great stuff about Perth.
Yeah, I think
Pretty boring. There's nothing to do.
Really? Good Westfield?
Nah.
Really?
It's
It's
like a
just-
shops.
It's just all open.
I
I'm
heard they have
pretty
really
sure.
beautiful water.
Yeah.
Like their water's
Nah,
like the
it's
most
like
blue
kind of
thing.
gross.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't go to the right spot.
Nah,
as you're going into the city, it's just
really
like a harbour.
scenic. It's
Ah.
really scenic. That's so. I've never
Have you
been.
been? Okay.
I've never been.
Okay, you've never been.
Spaniards
I've never
been,
been.
Yeah.
I've never been, but I've watched.
I have. But,
I've
you know,
watched a lot
tell
of
me about
YouTube.
it.
Watched a lot of YouTube. All right, and mind you, like there was a guy that I watched through COVID who would basically go out and do adventures and shit.
Who's
So he
this?
would
What
just
was his
be like
name?
fishing and camping
Okay.
and shit like that. And so I really want to do that. And so he was based around Perth.
Yeah.
And so, bro, really like nice
It looked beautiful.
beaches and shit. Yeah. It's just you got to like have a 4-wheel drive down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You got to have.
If
a
you don't have a
V8.
car, you're fucked.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You can't do
Everything's
anything.
further away from everything. But I have heard that. I don't know whether might be true or not. But like Joel Creasy, is this a thing? Joel Creasy like cut his teeth doing comedy down in Perth, or
Right. They've got some good clubs there.
maybe
got
it
a
was
good scene in
Adelaide. I
Perth.
can't remember. But
But
he's
it's all like there's no like open mics. I don't think it's all like booked.
yeah, it'd be all
Okay.
booked rooms and shit.
Dang, Perth sounds nice. Sounds bomb.
I mean, maybe not nice for you, but like nice for Lochie.
What do you
and
think the open
Jackson.
mics are like
No,
in
it's
Christmas
too hot.
Island?
I can't go outside.
I can imagine
Okay,
the people
so
at Christmas
maybe-
Island are probably funny. There'd actually be some funny people.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, when they get some food, you know, like
Yeah.
after they get some food, brother, they fucking crack.
They've probably got a
jokes.
few things to say.
You know?
It's the
But
open
like
mic-
you
open
can't.
mics like
How
it.
funny could
Yeah,
you be?
legitimately,
How funny
Christmas
can you
Island.
be when you're hangry? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think you're the funniest. If you're having a terrible life, it makes you
I don't
funnier.
think you can crack jokes when you can like
I think you
barely
have to crack jokes.
Nah.
I think that's literally when jokes are cracked.
I think
Yeah, you're
what,
delirious. You can't go to sleep.
I mean, if you crack a joke so good, your celly commits suicide. It's like
Imagine they're
that's
probably
too
so
good.
funny. They got like, nothing to lose.
I'm gonna walk out on this. You know what I mean? Like
They've probably got like
physically
no
walk out.
like fear of speaking. They're probably raw. They're probably real about things. I wonder how
down
many
there?
genders they think there are.
I think,
They've probably got a lot to say.
dude.
Imagine the timing.
Christmas
of, like,
Island?
You do a fart in your cell, and then your cellie hangs himself. and you're
I think
you'd be stuck for
No
a
joke.
It was your fart. That made
Christmas Island would be like a 20 years back, like an Australian version, because they only get like
Have you
probably
been to Christmas Island?
No.
Okay.
Spain has.
Bro.
It was in 4K.
Fuck.
Brother.
Where's the fucking food?
He had to leave though because there was no
Hungry.
bricks. So all right. All
Who
right.
named it Christmas Island?
Whoever that
guy-
was, saddest motherfucker. Because
Or the a really funny guy.
The guy
Funniest
is
dude on
named
earth.
after a guy called like Michael Christmas.
I would imagine.
It's like Joel Smith, Tom Evans, and it's like we're gonna name an.
I would imagine Christmas Island in Christmas Island would be hell.
It'd be probably the best time.
Would be hell.
It'd literally be the most magical
Would
time of
be
the year.
literally hell.
It's
fam.
Christmas in Christmas.
It's like
You'd literally have an event called
Listen,
that.
it's like
How much of that is like propaganda by Australia to be like, yeah, it sucks there, don't go.
who's this?
Australian government.
The Australian government to Christmas Island.
Yeah, be like, yeah, Christmas Island,
How
real
about
bad.
you hear it from the actual points of view of people that were made
The
to
guy
like
who's
live
making
there?
millions of dollars.
No,
off
no, no,
it
no.
being
I'm,
bad.
I'm saying.
I don't know.
That was one guy. Like
Yeah?
He watched like 4 or 5 guys commit suicide by the time he was there.
Yeah, right.
So that's pretty. For him to even go, you know what?
Santa gave him the wrong gift.
No. Okay.
funny there.
Yeah, I mean, he gave him the gift of education, which he apparently used. And don't get me wrong, for a second when my mum actually told me this story, I was on the basis of like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
Other guys could come and do this. How do we know where they came from? Mind you, and I feel ashamed for thinking this because I'm a fucking immigrant.
Yeah.
I came to this country not knowing a single word of English.
Did you go to an
Still
immigration
don't.
center?
No. We were lucky. That my mum just was nice to
So we're
couple?
atheists. We don't celebrate
No.
Christmas.
I love how you.
We're not
I love how you
going.
cut me off with like.
You've been telling the same story for half an hour, cunt.
Brother,
Finish
brother.
it up. There got to be
What
a
do you-
fucking end to it, bro. You can't just keep talking.
First of
Finish
all,
it.
hey. I would love to
This is what
know.
happens.
I would love to know about your Christmas
the
Island
thing,
gear. Do you have any Christmas Island gear, mother? Like, do you know what I mean?
We've been writing it all off. It's
Well,
good.
I've
You've been saying there's this guy. and
Listen,
he's
I
sad
have
for
no
fucking heart.
problem-
Get it going,
What-
cunt. Come on.
What we've done.
I come here to laugh, not to fucking cry.
Okay. First of all, this is a podcast. This is a podcast where if you're given a sad story, you can make fun of that.
Yeah.
You're pretty good.
You got
at
upset when we
You
did.
got upset with
I didn't
jokes.
I didn't upset. How
Yeah,
did I
you
get?
did. Yeah, you
just took-
did.
took
Don't
a little-
fucking
You took
drink
a
it
little
back.
jab
If it's
just
a
then.
shit-
It's, oh, you're going to cut in and make a joke.
If it's a shit
Oh, so you're
tag,
going to make a joke.
it's a shit
Oh,
tag.
so you're going to make a joke.
You're gonna make a
Story.
joke
Shit.
on Sausage
Hey,
Boys.
hey.
This is a
I wouldn't
serious
even call it a
podcast.
joke. I wouldn't even call it a joke. There
It
was
was
no
a great
punch.
joke.
There was no punchline
Your
there.
mum said we're not going to Christmas Island. We're atheists. We don't celebrate Christmas. That's funny.
That's good.
That's funny. It's a funny joke.
No, keep going with your sad story. Sorry.
I didn't hear it in full. Well, to be fair, we could move from Christmas
I
Island.
like it. I want to stay on it for maybe another 3 minutes. We got a few more riffs.
Well, okay.
I want to do it to death. I literally want to milk this thing to death because I'm thinking, are there any other Christmas puns, any other Christmas things going
okay,
on?
we've gone through that. So I'll just explain in full. Go and have a look at this guy. I'll simplify this real quick.
I bet
Go
you
and have a
are.
look at this guy's story, and you will agree with me that he.
Santa.
All right, search up.
Santa Ibrahimovic.
Search up.
Santa
it's
Abdullah.
weird.
Look
I would-
up Santa Abdullah.
I'm gonna look him up. just to give him the because don't get me wrong. It takes a lot. It takes 4 years for you to become a lawyer.
Yeah.
But then to go and become a lawyer and then go back and sue the government and then win, like that's a
Yeah.
fucking
Also in like a different language. Where was he from?
I
You
think
speak English?
Feels
Like,
like
Kurdish, Iranian. Like he was in Middle East of
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sort.
He's from the North Pole. I don't know. There's something.
he's from
I'm just trying
Parramatta.
to- What'd you say?
He's from Parramatta.
I'm gonna search him up real quick.
Bro, fuck Bali.
I think he lives in Melbourne now. I think he lives
he
in
does.
Melbourne. He was on the
Fucking
project.
fruitcake.
So he was on the project
Nah,
for
I'm
this, by the way.
joking.
Ingrid sues over Christmas.
He's probably
Island.
obnoxious about coffee. Like,
I know he
getting the-
only drinks tea, I think.
Really?
Crazy.
6 years for this?
pretty good food scene. You go to Lygon Street after 6 years in a eating like spaghetti noodles with like.
I wonder how
tomato
long it is after
and
like
tomato
you're
sauce.
starving for years. Like how long do you get food until you like start complaining about it?
Do you know what I always?
Oh,
think?
they complain
like-
straight off the top.
He'll probably be like a fat guy. That's
No,
what
no,
I
he was-
always notice. He's like a fat guy.
Do you
I'm
know?
like, wait,
Do you
this
know
doesn't
what's
really
funny
add up.
about this?
You said you were like dying.
He keeps slipping up as well. He's got a tan. He's got a tan. He walks out of there with a fade.
The crazy thing is, the crazy thing is, as I search
He's
this
got like
up,
a Coachella armband.
He's got a tattoo and he's like still healing. Still healing, brother.
so this,
Show
okay. The funny thing
He's
is,
got like a bucket of popcorn from the Deadpool movie.
so the funny,
Show you photos from like the
weird
Amalfi
thing is-
Coast. Brother, this is me, honestly. Beautiful water.
the weird
He's
thing,
like on the cover of a newspaper. It was a Mardi Gras.
that's crazy. That's crazy. The crazy thing is, I try to search it up just then. But there were so many cases of people winning and suing the government and then winning because of like their ill treatment on Christmas Island that I can't find exactly who the guy was. But he was a guy and he's a lawyer now. I think his name is either Muhammad or something.
It'd be a
He's
good guess.
definitely,
Yeah.
well, it's not
Why do you
racist
think
when
his name would be Muhammad?
because he's definitely Middle Eastern. He's definitely Middle Eastern.
Okay.
It could have been like Ali or something. I have no idea. I honest to God cannot remember for the life of me. But I tried to search it up just then. There was like at least 7 or 8
So
different.
he's not the first.
He's not the first.
Yeah.
But
They're
he's the
all
first
suing.
to become a lawyer and actually go and sue in his own.
So the others are suing, but they're not like
They didn't
qualified
go
lawyers.
and
They're
become
not
a
representing
lawyer. He
themselves.
went and became a lawyer.
Okay.
That's a pretty
He's a
Sigma
really cheap
move,
guy.
don't you reckon? Like,
Yeah, he
I'm not paying
just
him.
didn't be
how about this? How about this? How about
Brother,
this?
I'm going to become a lawyer.
How about this?
then.
How about this? How about this? So it's as if I got like a disabled spot fine, right? And then, and then.
So
I
basically,
went,
I'm gonna study
and then
law.
I went and I trained as a parking inspector, right? I went and trained as a parking inspector for years,
Yeah.
fam. Just cutting my teeth
Bam.
on every single like Sydney laneway, and then I go and then I go and find out where the parking inspectors live, and then I go and find every single one of them.
And
It's
what?
like-
Kill them?
Well, I feel like that's like a
find them.
kill them,
You find them.
kill them.
I thought you said find them.
What would you do? You know, if there's like, you know how there's like the parking inspector and they got their little like phone thing,
Yes.
like, and as they're giving you a ticket, what if you just like went up to them, grabbed the thing, and just like, paid it?
Picked it.
Like, can they do anything?
solved.
Nah, I
Literally
think,
nothing.
I'm
can
not gonna
happen.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's like damaging. That's like damaging property, and so you would get done for that.
property
But
or
how
something
they
like
gonna
that.
know?
Yeah, who's
only
gonna tell
only if you
anyone?
run
I'm
away.
sure as hell not.
hey, only if you run away. If you get back into the same car they were trying to give a fine to, and then you try and drive
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
they're gonna be like, I just
Oh, yeah,
remember
true,
he's
true,
fucking.
yeah.
True. You
Like,
have to
you-
kill them.
What you gotta do? No. What,
gotta go down
what
the
you gotta
road.
do? What you gotta do is grab the thing, throw it, and then go up
Keep
to a
going.
line bike, and then fucking get the
Oh,
line bike.
smart
You know what I mean?
move.
And then you're off.
I mean, I feel like you could jog. Like those guys aren't really
Yeah.
Nah, I feel like some of them would run. Well,
after you.
yeah,
They're
they
not
would
going to
run.
run. They don't care.
Well, I feel like the public would like make you trip over or
I
some
think
shit.
it is honestly the suburb. I think if you go to like, what I always see the ones around the city, and they seem to be pretty chill.
Well, the funny thing is about all of this, right, is that, so the government, remember how like they were saying they don't have to give you the actual physical ticket at the thing if it's
Yeah,
raining?
I hate
Guess
that.
what? Most of the New South Wales government is making every single council, because councils obviously take care of their own shit, so they're making every single council turn back on this, right? And go, you know what? You have to physically give them the fine and
In
the
the rain.
paper. It
Oh.
doesn't matter.
You have to do paper. You can't do
Well,
the
the
electronic.
the parking inspectors are citing safety, so they're saying as soon as I give this guy a fine, he's going to come out as a tradie and he's going to
100%.
go off at me, and I'm going to be scared. And I'm blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm going to shit my pants. And so they're saying instead we won't give them a thing, and they'll just walk away. So they'll record it on their little fucking thing. And I think if you are a parking inspector and you do watch this, Give us the fucking little piece of paper. You don't fucking
What
pay
if you
for
don't
it.
accept the paper?
You know, well, I
Like, I never got the
listen.
paper, you
I
can't
want
get
the
me.
paper.
Yeah, that's what I
Listen,
always think.
How about
I
this?
always
How about
think.
this? How about this? It's wrong for you not to leave the paper because what could happen is another parking inspector could come past, see that there's no paper there, and give you 2 fines.
No,
and then
I
now
think
you
on
got
their like
time
system.
recording.
or
Okay.
whatever.
Once you've got
maybe
your fine,
okay,
you
maybe
can
that's
have the
right.
rest of the day
Maybe
free.
that's right. Maybe that's
I
right.
think that's fair. I've seen people with 2 tickets, which
But-
is bullshit.
but-
Really?
Yeah,
that would
yeah.
be from a different day, though.
No, from like a different time.
I don't
Oh,
think
yeah,
that-
well,
And come back
no,
like an hour or
you
two
can-
later.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
When I used to go to uni,
You
down,
can't
like, near
actually.
Central, and it would literally be like you
They have
free
to
parking
leave
as
you
soon as
with the
get a ticket.
fine.
The rest of the day,
You
fine.
you get that fine. That fine stays for that whole 24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours.
That's
it must
it.
have been on 2 days.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I
You
get a
get it the
fine,
second
I'm
day.
like, I'm parked here all day, baby. I just
Yeah,
pay for
literally,
all
it's like
day
free
parking. Yeah.
You get to kind of
Um,
enjoy it.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
think you
So
should have
just
to give
give
the
us the fucking little piece of
how
paper.
about this? How about none of us buy tickets, and when the parking inspector comes, he just charges you for like how much the ticket would have been. Like not the
Double.
The,
How about just
How does
no,
he
no,
know-
No, just the parking spot.
How does he know how long you've been there? That's the crazy
Oh,
thing.
true.
What I think, here's my idea.
Let me get back to
Here's my
this. Let me
idea.
get back to this.
It's like
The Sydney
it's
Council.
like an Uber thing. Everyone can work as a ticket officer, and you just see who's like over on the parking, and you can deliver fines yourself. It's just kind of like an Uber thing. It's like, oh
How
yeah, I
about this?
work part time. Like
this?
That
a
would
ticket
cause a
officer.
civil war.
How about this? How about this?
Literally. And
You
just
make it
like
a law.
Civvies, you do it in civics.
Hey,
so
hey.
you could just go
It'll
along.
get so racial.
You make it a
so
law.
Oh
quick.
my god.
You make it a law in this
Beautiful.
country
Yeah.
that if you rock up to the car the same time that the ticket inspector has rocked up to the car and already written out the ticket,
Yeah.
scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock.
I've got one better than that.
All right, go on.
If you get a fine, then you have to be the inspector until someone else gets a fine. That's it.
You're just like running around like that,
pretty
like
good.
I gotta get back to work.
Because
Oh,
yeah, you don't want to be that guy because you could potentially get murdered.
True.
If you're about to put the ticket down, someone's gonna snipe you. They're gonna go, "Don't touch
It's
my
like,
fucking car."
it's like, sorry, brother. I know you're only here for 2 minutes, but I got to pick up my kids at 3, so I got to get off the shift.
yeah.
That'd be great.
Anyway, Sydney
just
Council.
bring someone, like,
Sydney,
park someone in.
Sydney Council is the only council, as well as like the Northern Beaches Council and shit, that are refusing to do the paper ticket because they're saying that their parking inspectors are citing safety.
Yeah.
So it's bullshit. It's a little fucking piece of paper. You motherfuckers have fucked us over the plastic straws anyway and the plastic lids. So how about you just
I don't
give us
think
the
it's
same
the
guys?
It's got plastic
Listen,
things.
They're all the
Paper
same
they're fine
guys.
with.
They're all the same guys, baby.
Paper they're fine with. They just don't want plastic.
Well, it almost feels like plastic.
Does it?
Yeah, doesn't it?
Wait, what feels like plastic?
But like the
Paper ticket.
yeah, because it's not fully like it's not fully paper.
No, it's
Is it?
not fully
Yeah,
paper.
there you go. So start driving
Really?
cars, boys, and then you'll find out. All right.
True.
Well, yeah, let's take that plastic and put it back in our straws.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
chucking all
lie.
my fines in
I'm
the
not gonna lie.
ocean of the
I
tunnels.
I just go to like I'll go to like Indian grocers and shit because Indian grocers for some weird reason they're like we don't give a fuck about the environment.
Yes.
any straw you
Asian
want.
ones
Because
as
they're
well.
easier
Any
to
straw
find
you
your
want.
groceries. It's
Nah,
not like
not gonna lie. The Asians go paper because it's cheaper.
No, they do plastic.
I think it's
Because
cheaper to get paper. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's heaps cheaper
It's
to get
ones
paper.
that don't have like any morals, and they're like,
No,
we'll
I
just
don't
sell.
understand is how they charge us for plastic bags, right? So it used to be free,
Yeah.
and then they're charging now to save the environment. But instead of making it a product that they lose money on every time they give it to you, now
Yes.
every single time that they sell a bag,
Yeah.
like they have more
It's 15
incentive
cents.
to give out bags.
Yeah, this does get to me as well because I feel like right. This was the crazy thing. Paper bags shouldn't be a fucking thing. Think about this.
Why?
Think about this. Really think about this. Right? You got a frozen item in that bitch. How long are you fucking going?
Yeah.
You're going 2K before that thing crumbles.
You got probably like depending on how intense you're
Apple
walking.
crumbles, especially if there's a
Probably got like 40
frozen
minutes.
apple pie that you're taking home.
I've had a few break in public. It's
you had a
embarrassing.
bag break in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I like to do,
But it was a
basically,
ball bag. It's
I put it.
it's like I was riding on the line bike too quick.
I put it on each side of my line bike. Legitimately, then I ride with the.
They've got a
bags.
basket.
Do you know what
I
just
know,
came
but
into
it's
my
always
head?
full of rubbish.
Oi, fucking shout outs Ben
Where are you
Stiller.
supposed to put the helmet?
Shout outs Ben Stiller. Do you guys remember that fucking scene in Ben Stiller where he was like,
Oh, dude, Ben Stiller. That movie's hilarious.
bro. I remember physically doing that. Okay. So you guys are gonna think I'm crazy.
Isn't it?
You guys are gonna think when I was 7 years old, that same thing happened to me. That same.
Crazy for that.
I promise to you, when I was 7 years old.
Oh, you sipped your nuts.
Not the whole nut, just the outside of the sack. So it wasn't a ball outside of the nut. It was just a sack, but it was actually done up.
Yeah.
Like I had done it up good, bro. And so my mum was both like, because my mum was like quite like
She's like, I'm gonna have to use my spit
when
as
I was a kid.
What did you say?
She's gonna have to use my spit as lubricant.
That's gross.
That's disgusting.
My mum literally was like, I'm not breaking these pants because I just bought you these pants.
Nope.
So she was already on the. So she was just like, I don't know, just fucking put your hand there or some shit. No, she was just like, she's like, we're not breaking these pants. We're not breaking the thing.
What he
So
needs
she was
is an
just
erection.
like, so she was just like,
Get rid of this.
she was just like, look that way, and then fucking bah, and then, dude, I remember this. To this day. The two most traumatic things I have as a child is that, because I remember seeing it like
disgusting. That's, like,
seeing it
legitimately
years
terrifying.
later in a Ben Stiller movie. Imagine seeing it years later and you're like,
What if he was there watching you? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. My whole family was watching this movie with us, and everyone in the family, all chicks so far, were all laughing hysterically, and I'm going, that's PTSD. Like, this is bringing back PTSD for me. Because the only other time
That's
that
every
I had
man's worst fear as well.
is, bro,
It's my
that.
fear for like most of
And
my
then,
life.
have you ever had like your hand in like, and then you've closed the door, like car door on your hand?
That's
Have you
not
ever
that
had
bad.
No, I've had that
I'll
when
be
I was
honest,
a kid.
the hand in the car door isn't that bad.
When they have to get the thing off, when they have to get the
the
whole
nail.
nail off, it's pretty
Oh,
bad.
actually,
bro.
yeah, you're right.
It's pretty bad. I was a
You're right.
kid. I remember being a kid at that time, and I had like my hand in the thing. I can't remember if it was my thumb or like my pinky. And I remember my mum having to like physically take that out. And
Why?
That was, well, because the fucking nail was like broken off and shit. And so you just wait a couple of like weeks for it to like,
Do you know what? That's
I
like
did that to my toe.
really.
Yeah,
Oh, you
toe's the worst.
Yeah,
Toe's the
yeah.
worst.
That just
How'd
happened to
you
me
do
recently
that?
for the first
I
time.
was I just started my apprenticeship, and then I was wearing steel toe boots. I didn't know how
That's
they
why you wear
worked.
the steel toe boots.
Yeah, I didn't know how they
Not 'cause
worked.
you were.
So then I missed the train, and I was just like fucking raging so hard, where it's like I'm gonna be late, and I fucking don't even want to do this. I have to be up at 5 a.m. And so I get the steel toe, and I just kick it into like a metal garbage bin,
Yeah.
and then just like fuck, just bleeding out my fucking toe, and I have to work all day as well, just with that.
That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
thought it would. I thought the steel toe would.
Nope, it's just the steel just hits your fucking toe.
Well, you're really like, especially if there's a bit of space in between.
Oh, what you want, bro?
You know what I mean? If there's a bit of space in between, you're hitting that steel cap. How about this? Have you ever like treaded over a nail? I've treaded over like 4 nails.
It's like Homer Simpson.
What? Dude? What?
He tried on a nail and it like
Is it-
goes
did he?
through the other side.
No,
And he
not
goes,
through the
"Oh,
other side.
fiddlesticks."
Gee, not through the other side. I've never had it come out the other side. But I have watched one of my co-workers physically shoot his hand, and like it was stuck
With
in
a
his
nail
hand.
gun?
Yeah. It was stuck in his hand, and he was like 2 stories up. And so we had to I had to drive his car down to the hospital. I had no license, and so I had to drive his car to Westmead Hospital,
Parking disabled spot.
park in the disabled spot.
Fellas, I gotta go.
You
Oh, you
got
got
that?
that?
Thank you very much for having me. Should I just turn this off or?
You can just.
Oh,
throw
you
it
just
It's
down.
been
chuck
off
it down,
anyway.
dude.
It doesn't matter.
It's been off anyway. Layers, Lochie.
Take it easy, bro.
Peace
I
out.
love ya.
Was gonna. All right.
Nail in the hand.
Yeah, and then fucking he had a nail stuck in his hand.
I saw a photo of a guy like.
Do you know
my
what's
dad's
funny?
mate.
The
What's funny?
my boss at the time.
Not my story.
my boss. I'm so sorry. My boss at the time was literally so.
It'd be funny if you just told my story.
Nah, my boss didn't have him on the books, and so he was so
Didn't have him on the
scared.
books.
He was so scared about just the co-worker just telling the hospital.
Oh, this is the dude.
Yeah. So he was like to him, "I'll give you $3,000 in cash." He goes, "I'll pay you till you recover. Just don't tell them this happened at work because I obviously don't have insurance for you guys."
Yeah.
Because they asked for the insurance number straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Like they're like, "Oh, this happened at work? Okay, sweet. What's the insurance number?"
I'm pretty sure it's 200000.
You could go do that. 800-885. Is that what it's for?
Pretty sure it's 6969.
Yeah, no, it's fucking. It's hard, dude. It's hard being on a job site. I don't like job sites anymore. I like
You. When were you on one?
for a
you
while,
actually
like
working
fucking.
on it. You're just delivering stuff to job sites.
Probably from 17 onwards. I was like,
Oh, you were on a
site.
job site.
Are you doing carpentry stuff, right?
Yeah, I did rendering first, and then I did carpentry, and then I did technician work. So all the fun roles.
Gosh.
Yeah, labouring is not a nice.
What goes down? I guess it's the whole. I wish we could talk to Lachlan about that. I didn't know he was starting a trade.
Yeah,
Getting up early.
I think he only did it for a bit though. I think he only did like aircon for a bit, hated it, and it was like, because like aircon, you got to get in like manholes and like tight spaces and shit.
Pause.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep, and it's fucking. It gets very hot in there. Yeah, it's alright.
Have you had bad injuries at work?
Besides that, I remember having a grinder cut my fucking finger. That's about like this one time. Never really something too big. Yeah, pretty boring stuff.
What if I leave now?
It's just me. It's just me on the pod now. I've walked all three of them.
Yeah, I like that. You're
Walking probably your perfect podcast.
I mean, we could, if we make it, because I'm like 6 minutes off my parking.
Okay.
So if we make this another 15 minutes, it'll be almost perfect.
Oh, okay, that's good.
We've only got.
And were you guys going to come down to the open mics tonight as well? No.
Maybe.
Mapes.
What are you thinking?
DD is pretty mad, and Corridor will be pretty mad, I feel like.
I might give it a go.
Corridor's Newtown?
Corridor is Newtown.
I got to munch.
Literally.
I got to munch. I got to munch some grub.
You got a munch? You got a ice spice?
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
What have you been munching on?
Fucking nothing so far, brother. Straight the fuck out. I haven't.
You ever been munching?
Nah, I ate like a slider. I ate like 2 sliders today.
Yeah.
But I've been pretty broke recently, so I'm trying to fucking save. So I haven't been going hard at food in a while, unless you call bread food.
I do.
Yeah, carb up, baby.
You've just been breading it.
Well, yeah, like bread and something else, like bread and like eggs or something, or like bread and like.
What kind of bread are we talking?
I'm talking fucking rolls, soft rolls. You know what I mean?
Stuffed rolls. Okay, so
yeah,
you're hitting
that's
the
my
multi-grain.
favorite. That's my go-to at like the local bakery.
How much are stuffed rolls?
Soft rolls like $6 for like $6. No, $3 for like 6 of them. Pretty good.
6, that's decent.
Yeah.
Multi-grain bread's pretty good. The Woolworths brand's like $1.50 and you get
Yeah,
like
I'm not like a loaf type of guy.
You're not
like
loafing.
loaves.
You're not
I
getting
like
some loaves.
rolls and shit.
You're
Like
not
rolls are
loafing
pretty
out.
good. You know what I mean?
Rolls are very
rolls are
specific.
versatile.
What roll are you getting?
I would never get a roll. I feel
no
it's an
roll.
ethnic move.
What, you would only have like a banh mi roll?
No, I would only have bread, like pieces of multi-grain bread.
You got to get a banh mi. You must put it on a
Multi-grain? Yeah,
Yeah, it's rough of
to be
it.
fair, I wouldn't imagine you to be a
limited
white.
Yeah, I don't do white
No,
bread.
no.
I just do multi-grain bread. Just
Yeah.
nice.
I can't
toast.
imagine.
I got the grain. I grained it up.
You grain it
Oh,
up.
you grained
yeah.
it up? Okay. Well, did you guys know fucking 21 grains almost of like different kinds of bread that you can get? Like there's like 21 plus now, which is
Grains.
crazy. Because like back in the days, it was just flatbread rolls. You know what I
Too
mean?
many grains. We don't need that many grains.
We don't need that many grains. I feel like the good bread was like the old traditional bread that they would like make. It was like flatbread. I like a lot of flatbreads. I like a lot of like handmade fucking bread. That's why I'm like a big fan of like fucking oven baked pizzas, like wood stove. Think about it, bro, because they're making them like nice and fresh.
Oh wait, are you talking about the
Wood
frozen
fire,
ones?
wood fire
from-
pizza.
Nah, I'm talking like
wood
wood
fire from,
fire.
like, a restaurant.
Yeah. Like a
I'm
restaurant.
thinking of like the
Like they
frozen
ma-
wood fired.
Nah,
pizza.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
frozen. I don't know about, but
Actual
like,
wood
what
fired
if it's made nice and fresh with the dough and shit? I fucking
Yeah.
love it. I reckon that stuff is.
I want to touch on something we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I want to bring it to surface a little bit.
Yeah.
We do have a potential plan to do a 24-hour podcast.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
Let's
24-hour.
go.
24-hour podcast.
How-
You extend
like-
your parking? No, we're doing.
pretty good.
Yeah, we're talking about doing a 24-hour podcast.
Yes.
Oh, I'm in.
I'm
I'm
trying to
keen.
do it maybe in the new year.
Having everyone through.
Yeah.
In the new year, or the
at
day,
different
the like
intervals.
new day of New
New
Year.
Year's Day, maybe something like
I
that.
didn't even think of that.
If it's New
That could be
Year's, I'm
crazy.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I might not be in Sydney.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
I might be in Melbourne.
You moving to Melbourne?
Nah, I like go and see
You're
my
gonna go
mum and
marry
shit.
that guy
So
that won the money?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You seem to
pretty
love
good.
him so
That's
much.
pretty good. It's actually
Yeah.
arranged marriage. My mum
Okay,
arranged it,
that's
so it's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
No, my mum.
What about an arranged same-sex marriage?
my
What about an
That'd be
arranged
funny.
marriage and you just both in a Range Rover?
Oh, how about this? It's like
do.
it's an arranged marriage, but it's a gay arranged marriage. You know what I mean?
I think that would be a good idea.
That would be funny.
That's going to start happening
Oh, yeah.
nowadays with like white parents.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's
no, Billy, you're getting married to Tom.
Yeah, Tom's really
Getting
good.
married to him.
Tom's really
There's
good.
nothing you can do about it. He has to like go see his girlfriend by the fence. He's like,
But
I wish
Mom,
we
I'm not
could.
gay. Yes, you are. Everyone's gay. Everyone's gay nowadays.
How about
I'm sick
this?
of,
So this is one. I feel like a lot of ethnic parents like they double up the meaning of like several words, right? So like your dad could just be like, "That's lame," but instead, like your dad's like an old school guy, so he's just like, "That's gay," you know. So instead of just saying "That's lame," he just goes, "That's gay." You know, like my mum like it does this.
I
which-
guess I must be pretty old school.
right.
About
Right? Because like, what do you call it? Like, my mum uses the word haram almost too
does
much.
she?
Yeah, almost
Big
too
on
much.
haram.
Well, she's not that big on
What's
haram.
her accent? Let's hear her accent a little bit.
She's got a bit of an accent.
Let's
but
do it.
she's
Let's
like,
hear it.
she'd be like, you know, like, oh, you. I'll be like, Mum, can we change the radio?
Yeah.
And she'd be like, oh, what do you want to hear? And I'll be like, I don't know, like Taylor.
Sounds
Taylor.
Sounds
like-
just like you.
She'd be like Taylor. I'll be like, I don't know, Taylor Swift or something.
Imagine she has
She's like,
your
oh,
exact
you
voice.
Swifty? You
Ah.
Swifties? Yeah, double
Nice.
gay. Double gay.
Then she uses the word gay.
Well, I feel like, she uses the word gay for like almost anything that's uncool, lame. Do you know what I mean? So she'd just be like, that's gay. Like
Please have your mum on the
like
podcast.
that's I would fucking love to on the 24-hour one.
But
But
no,
no,
joking. We'll have crazy guests like that. Be like, yeah, Fadey's mum.
Oh, yeah,
was
it's
on
like,
for an
it's
hour.
like, it's like, it's like Fadey and his estranged dad.
Yeah, we have like scenes of just people
Oh,
crying.
they just bring Rohan and then like the arranged marriage that like he doesn't know about.
Oh, we're gonna do crazy things. We're gonna get Mortal Enemies on there together.
100%.
We're gonna
Oh,
get
hey, this is a good time to plug your roast with Rohan because I feel like that's going to be a great
Yeah.
roast.
Oh, we don't need to plug that.
Oh yeah, we don't need to.
Yeah.
Good joke.
You have a roast coming up, but yeah, this 24-hour podcast.
We're gonna get Homer Simpson on the 24-hour.
You should have a roast on the
Hey,
podcast
guys.
on the 24-hour podcast. You should have like
Merge. Homie.
so what are you guys thinking of doing in the 24-hour?
What we want to do, we want to have it in the holidays or a day where everyone's gonna kind of be free. We want to potentially have like 20 to 30
I
people.
think February, dude. February is so quiet.
Everyone's back in February. I think early Jan is when.
be here in February.
No, I think
Homer Simpson.
That's good. No one's going to be here in February. Everyone's back at work.
Well, I feel like no.
Everyone goes back
start
to
of Jan.
Everyone goes back to work around January the 5th.
Yeah, or the
Normies.
Ninth,
We're talking
yeah.
about, I think everyone has the 2nd or 3rd off. We could potentially do it the 3rd of Jan. We want to have around 20 to 30 people. We're going to go from 2 p.m. to 2 p.m.
They clock in and out.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
to 2 p.m.
No, 2 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Where are we gonna do it? We gotta do it in a neutral area.
I thought we were going to do it here.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking we'll just do it here.
We're gonna need to hire a receptionist or something.
Oh, we'll buzz them up.
Are you drinking through this or?
We'll probably get a few bevies.
No, we're going.
It
sober.
goes. You really?
I
think
we're
we're
sobering.
Just raw dogging the pod. How many guests and for how long?
We want to have maybe, and again, some guests could potentially stay for 3 hours. I think 3 hour max
Yeah, 3 hour max is
because we want to
about
have a
right.
rotating.
No one wants to like talk and
Cast.
fucking socialize for like more than. I mean, 3 hours is a lot.
It's a lot.
That's like a Joe
like-
Rogan pod.
It's the
You know what
longest
I mean?
podcast we've like ever done would be 3
Yeah.
hours.
We're
It's
gonna
like
need-
if Joe
we've
Rogan
done-
had
I think we
3
did
guests.
4 hours one time.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Maybe
the
with
Christmas
Riv.
one.
Yeah, we had Riv on for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Riv might close us out
Yeah.
for the last 4.
Yeah.
We want to have literally like a rotating, maybe 20 people come in. We're going to have 2 extra mics. So we'll have maybe one person and then another person come through. We're just going to basically keep people.
This is a really fun idea. I really like
It's going to be a lot
this.
of fun.
Yeah, I really like this. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think January. Maybe January 5th. I'll be back, but I'm planning on like driving down this time because my family's down there, so I've got to go. Yeah, every like New Year's I go down and just see them, spend a little bit of time with them. Because the rest of the year I'm literally down here, so I'm like fucking. I might as well go and speak.
Why here not Melbourne? You just like it here.
Well, okay. I came here with the hopes of like just getting my shit together. Yeah. I was just like, I'll come down here, study some law. No, I was literally just came down here because my sisters were down here. So I'm like, you know what, for the moral support as well. Yeah. I'd just be closer to them. But yeah, they sort of really helped me get my start down here. And so I'm like, I wouldn't, as long as the money is good, I don't mind living anywhere, really. Like, I'm cool living anywhere. But I just, like, now that I've found sort of stand-up and there's a scene around it, I'm like, okay, I'm in this scene. I'm not going to stick here for the scene. I'm going to stick here.
Is it better? Sydney's better than Melbourne, would you say, or what?
There's differences. There's big differences. So if you want to raise a family and shit, go out there.
Melbourne's better for a family.
Yeah, or you got to go out Western Sydney if you want to raise a family.
Okay, yeah.
Because let's be honest, how well is he going to be? Like, how good of a range is your kid going to have about like street smarts and then just like general life skills if he's constantly like or her or they them. That's right.
They. You don't know their gender yet.
That's right. Hey,
so, this is my kid,
right? so you could almost
my kid,
assume.
my rules.
Why is that? Was that Rohanim's dad? All right. Okay. All I'm trying to say is
kid.
My rules. Is that a Homer bit? Is that Homer Simpson?
Excuse me, Mr. Singh. Your child can't have an arranged marriage.
But
to
I'm starting to really appreciate
my
Sydney.
kid, my rules.
I'm starting to really appreciate Sydney because I think when I was down here, I was way too young to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then when I was there, I was like, when I was in Melbourne, I grew up most of my schooling down there. And so that was a good place to like grow up and have friends and go out and ride dirt bikes and go camping and all that sort of shit. I think every kid should have that. Every kid should basically have the experience of like a regional kid for a bit. Do you know what I mean?
100%. I don't think you can have a whole life living in the city.
Yeah, bro.
Like
you become like this fucking...
become weird. I don't think it's...
Yeah, and you're like, my anxiety is important. They're like, no, fucking just get on the bus, you fucking weirdo.
You're just not a well-rounded individual. You need to have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a big...
I can't imagine being a kid kind of being in the city.
Yeah, and I think you're a lot more social when you're out there because you're like, I have to talk to the people I know.
You got to hang out with friends.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I'm just on my phone.
Yeah.
So fuck that.
Because you go to the city, you can't really go out as a kid because you're going to get R-worded by people.
Well...
That's like the fear. If you're kids that go outside in the city, you're getting R-worded.
Do you get the E-tard? No way.
No. I'm talking about assault.
Oh.
That's always the fear.
Is that what
people aren't getting R-worded out in the suburbs, but they are in the city.
I don't know about that.
Which R-word are we talking about right now?
Assault. Sexual assault.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the city?
City.
More in the city than in the...
I would assume that's the only reason why kids just can't go to the shops by themselves. It's like if you had a kid, right?
In the city?
Yeah, in the city.
Nah.
100%.
I would think exactly the opposite.
It's happening, bro. Trust me.
On a daily?
But let's say there's two. I've never seen like 2 8-year-olds just walk down to Woolworths or walk down to the convenience store to go grab some snacks.
What are you talking about? This is every morning. I'm talking.
Never happens.
I see this every morning.
Who?
Almost every morning. Every morning that okay.
What are their names?
Mainly because I'm following them.
Whereabouts?
But how about this? So most of the mornings,
Yeah.
if you're going to school around the city and you live around the city, it's one fucking line bike down the road. Do you know what I mean? Or it's like one train down the road and you're on. I feel like around the city
I never see kids by themselves.
Yeah.
Compared to like the suburbs, it'll be like a little girl walking a dog. You would never see a little girl walking a dog around the city.
There's less
Around
weirdos in
Hyde
rural
Park.
areas.
Have you ever seen like
less weirdos.
Like a young girl, like a tiny girl who's like 8, walking her dog around Hyde Park? It's not going to happen.
Oh yeah.
It just will not happen.
Northern
But
Beaches,
You go
I
to
do see that.
any suburban area, you're just seeing like little girls, kids, young kids,
Yeah,
just out walking.
I'm
their
not gonna
dogs,
lie. Yeah,
doing
you're
all that
right.
sort
You're
of
right.
stuff.
I think eastern suburbs, like northern beaches.
Maybe it's
I
not
see
happening
a
out west.
lot of this.
But it's not happening in the city. You
Out
can't
west,
just let your kid
where
go
I
out
live,
walking.
bro,
Yeah.
they're fucking shooting guns. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're
What?
not.
You hear
they're not.
gunshots.
Okay.
What's
Literally,
going on? Let's have the scoop. Who's this Angel of Death dude? Did you know him?
Angel of Death.
Yeah.
Who's Angel of Death?
Ayub. What is it? I think his name. I don't know if it was Fadey.
Are you talking about a hunter?
No. I'm talking about the dude that just got killed in Parramatta. What's his name?
All I know.
Tarek Ayub,
Okay.
aka the Angel of Death.
Okay. I want to tell. So
you know
around
him?
that area.
Have you heard of him? Is he a
So
is he a
from
character?
I'm going to tell you the truth. From
Okay.
about Liverpool,
Yeah.
right? This
Stop
is
snitching on some
Liverpool,
people.
Liverpool, Mount Druitt. I'm just going to tell you what the west is like.
Yeah.
From about Liverpool, Mount Druitt ways and that.
Yeah.
All the way up to Lidcombe and Strathfield and Burwood and all them.
Yes.
And it starts to really become an okay spot around Burwood and Strathfield and all that because you've got a lot of migrants come in and they're good migrants. They go to work and they go pay their rent. They're good people. But around that area, the heart of that is Parramatta, Marylands, Granville, Guildford, Fairfield. My friend, that is the hardest area in Sydney to live.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason being is because there's the most amount of ego.
Yeah.
Right? And so you go from one suburb to another and you sell a few grams of like pot or something.
Yeah.
They'll find out and they'll come to your house. And I've got mates who've had this happen to them where they come to their house, point a gun in their face. The mum answers the door. He'll
knock it off, bro.
No. She's going. She can't speak a word of English, right? She can't speak a word of English, and
She
so
knows that that's gay, though.
And so no, speaking
being
English.
gay.
No, she's like,
Put that thing
she's
away.
like, you speak English? That's gay. You speak fluent English? Double gay. All right. So
I can't wait to have your mum on. for
I've
this
literally
program.
have one. I have one mate who that's exactly what happened to him.
Your Honour, that's double gay. Let him free.
Well, Your Honour, my mum says that's both haram and gay, which is quite funny that like my mum's two
The
favorite
jury
words.
is like,
My mum's two
and
favorite
if you
words.
say he's not guilty, you are double gay as well. Okay, fine.
She's like, if he's guilty, it's haram. If he's not guilty, it's gay.
She hasn't lost a case. She's working.
Immigration
It's
lawyer.
like doing up a briefcase.
But oi, that whole area is
Her notes are
just
just
so.
like gay, double gay.
Listen, there's just so many egos, and
Yeah.
they fight for every
That's
single
crazy.
dollar. Like, bro, there's sides. So that what? Okay, there's if you boys don't know,
Yeah.
there's families around there that are, and I probably shouldn't speak on this, but there's
Don't.
two families down there.
Let's
There's two families on there,
Yeah.
and you'll hear about this from the news.
They're
The
going to come here and put a gun in our face.
the Hamzis and the Alameddines,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And they basically control certain sides of certain suburbs, right? So this is like Guildford, Marylands, all that, and then the other guys will be like Parramatta, like fucking Guildford, Granville, all that, right? And Auburn and all that. And so they're literally constantly shooting at each other and constantly looking for each other to shoot at,
Yes.
right? And the reason being is because, and I've heard this from sources, but it says that the Sydney market, when it comes to like coke, drugs, just the coke market alone is like 50 million a year. A year.
Okay. Doesn't seem like that much.
Bro, this is all in cash.
I thought it was more than that.
This is all in cash. I'm more than certain just coke alone, and like
I think it's a lot more.
it's like
Hear about,
50 million.
it's very rare you hear about people getting shot or anything like that.
Well,
Like just like because you
come to the media hides a lot of stuff.
But
Come to
why?
my area, and you will see how many police cars. You will see the raids. You will see, like I hear. I've never heard gunshots per se, but you hear about like that just happened down the road.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
so, and then you go to like the local parks, and like I've driven through Auburn this one day. It was like 3 p.m. Like
Yeah.
fucking after school. A guy had just stabbed another guy to death, and this was across the road from the station. So the station was like 2 streets away. And so they don't care down there anymore. They're just like, we're just going to live our life. And so this it becomes a thing of like, this is also a hard thing of like, there's no other option for some of these kids. A Huncho is probably one of the only guys that went, you know what, fuck it, we're going to do all of this, and I'm going to go become a rapper. And so good on him. Not going to lie, A Huncho, brother, if you're watching this, good on you.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of guys, like, did you guys hear about Heady One being in Mount Druitt yesterday?
No.
Didn't Heady One's down
Really?
Sydney?
What's he doing in Mount Druitt?
I think he's doing a show and stuff, and he's doing some music with 1-4,
Okay.
so they're, like, big.
I didn't know it was 2017.
Anyway, mind you, all of those guys, like the 1-4s and that, they don't like these other guys that are like down in these areas because they all fucking beef because they all want to sell drugs and make money.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a big market down in Sydney. It's very, very harsh. Very harsh.
What is the craziest thing have you ever had any bad experiences? Ever been like pulled aside or ever been intimidated?
Oh, how about this?
Or?
So me and this was like close to 4 or 5 years ago. We were just smoking a joint, and we would just stand like we had just finished smoking the joint, so there was nothing on us.
Yeah.
The driver of the car was not stoned. Everybody else was stoned, and so that's completely legal. That is completely legal on any books wherever you want, right? Because we didn't not have any weed in our possession. We had gone out to a park late at night, parked up in the car and smoked.
Yeah.
Right? And so the officers, when they came down in a dibby van, and they were just so inhumane to all of us boys that they were looking down on us. And the funny thing is, one of those guys looked like he was Arab himself. So it's like those picturesque like movies that you see in like California and like of like the white cops, and they've got that like one black cop with them, and he's also being harsh.
You're all kind of like giving him a look like, come on, man.
Well, this is the funny thing.
Was he the worst?
This is he was the worst. And you know what the thing is? The thing is, we were just...
It's like, okay, Muhammad.
No. We were all good. We were all good. We were all good with them. But what they do is they make you feel a certain way to be like, we never want to see you in this park again. And so what they do is they'll be like, okay, take your shoes off. You're like, brother, we've got nothing on us.
Yeah.
Take your shoes off. Okay, take your socks off now. Okay, now you're taking your socks off. Show us your gooch.
Put them on your hands.
Show us your gooch.
No, you didn't have to show your gooch.
Show us your gooch.
Are you joking?
Yeah. So what they do?
You got sexually assaulted.
This is what I'm saying. But this happened to all 4 of us boys. This is a crazy thing. This sort of stuff. You bring this up, right? Like I bring this up to my mom. She's like, double gay.
You want to do it.
She's like, first of all, what you are doing is haram. So of course you were gonna get the double gay.
You had to show him your gooch.
I had to show him my gooch. Well, not show him my gooch, but like what he did was he was like, what they do. This is the same one as like the prison. So what they do is you got to cup your balls in your dick, right? You got to cup your balls in your dick, and then you got to like what he does is and this is the gayest part, and we just started giving it to him straight away because we were all good with this guy. And so what he does is he'll make you do that, and then he'll get your underwear and whatever pants and that, and so he'll move that back to see if there's anything in there, and obviously he can see your ass and shit, and then he'll do that to the front as well, and then he'll make you like try and shake shit around. I'm being serious. This is just demeaning stuff that they do out west. Maryland's police station. Oh, Maryland's police station. Most of you guys are dogs. I just want you guys to know that.
That's nuts.
The
That's
boys do not agree with that.
This is Maryland's police station. This is Granville police station. This is Parramatta police station. This is all of the police stations that are out west. They just treat you like you're an inhumane piece of garbage, my friend.
That's a good piece.
Yeah. Well, this is the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing.
So as
soon as he checks all of us, right? And then he does this, we just start instantly roasting him. So like we're like, okay,
as
so
you're doing it,
yeah, we're like, clearly you're gay. This is why you and I have a look at my ass. Yeah, get a good look back there.
Was he gay?
It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
gay.
At this point, it was both haram and double gay. Yeah, that's right. Well, see, this is what I'm saying to you. And so it's just a dehumanizing way to treat people.
Yeah.
That they do this on purpose because they know that there's no laws.
Was it one by one or was it all at once?
Oh, of course it was one by one because there was only like 2 or 3.
How would you feel? Do you have like a tear go down your eye?
Not really. Not really. I'm man enough that, okay, I've had another instance, and this is not just like this is not just
because I want to say this
in
is
the
like
area.
I never knew anything like this could be legal.
Okay, how about this?
I didn't know this was
How about
legal.
this? When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I just turned 18,
Yeah.
and I was driving a car that was my friend Dang's uncle's car. But do you know how hard it is to explain to a police officer that your mate Dang's uncle has a car and that hasn't been transferred yet? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, his brother done it.
and Dang is just a Sudanese black
His
guy.
sister
You know what I mean?
rats.
Yeah, and so, bro, they're not believing us. So anyway, they get me in the DB van. I get arrested. I get arrested, right, for driving this car. I get arrested. And so that's fair enough. I've done the wrong thing. I get arrested. I was happy to comply with them and go.
Hands behind your back.
All of that.
Oh,
Back
shit.
in the DB van. I'm in the back of the DB van. And as I'm literally in the back of this DB van.
Wait, why are you in the Dibby van?
Because remember, I'm arrested now because
Why?
I'm driving this car without a license, right? So I don't have a license. I don't even have my L's. And I'm driving this car, blah, blah, blah. And so they take me to the police station to process me, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm at 18 already. They don't have to call anyone, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I get in the back of this DB van, and then the rest of the cars, they make all of our... mind you, that fucking officer who, like, called us, my mate Dang was, like, passed out in the back seat, right? And so he decided, because there was only 3 of us in the car, it was me, my mate Jack, and my mate Dang, he decided to cuff me and my mate Jack. Jack is a UK guy, so he decided to cuff us both because we were skinny guys. And then he literally says to Dang, he goes to Dang, do you know why I didn't cuff you? He goes, I got another spare pair. He goes, but I don't think you're going to run very fast. You know, to Dang, who's just an overweight Sudanese black guy.
That's rare. Rare, the overweight Sudanese.
I don't know.
I've never seen that
There's
before.
heaps.
I've never seen that. That's
There's heaps.
You
Anyway,
don't have handcuffs big enough.
and he's from Nairobi. He's from Kenya, actually. Not
Oh, okay,
Sudanese.
that makes
yeah, he's
sense.
Kenyan.
I was gonna say
Where's your
Sudanese.
UK mate from?
He was
like
living in
his-
Melbourne. Yeah. And so we were just getting
ethnicity,
caught in the car
I mean.
together, right? And so he decided to do that, belittle the fuck out of like Dang. And then once they've got me in the thing, they're like, okay, you guys just walk home. This car has to stay here, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm in the back of this DB van and they start driving with me off. And then it's 3 a.m. in the morning. There's no other cars.
Yeah.
And so another car who's off like a Ford Territory police car pulls up the side. And I kid you not, when the light goes green, they start racing with me in the back. Right? And they're going so quick that I'm feeling every bump. And so now I'm like wildly just getting like jumped around like in the back of this DB van. And so I go, they're not going to stop unless I make some noise. So I start heavily. No. So I start kicking the fuck out of like the back of the DB van where their thing is.
You didn't have a seatbelt on.
Of course not. I'm handcuffed.
They didn't put a seatbelt on you.
Of course not. I'm handcuffed. There's no seatbelts back there, by the way. There's no seatbelts in the back of a DB van. It's just a square box.
Yeah.
It's just like kick it back there, bro. We're gonna go
It's funny that
slow.
you said, like, was there a seatbelt? And you're like, I couldn't. I was handcuffed. Also, there are no seatbelts back there.
Right? And so I'm kicking the fuck out of this, just going, what the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then they stop. Then I get to the police station. As soon as I get out of the police station, I'm going off my chops. I'm like, you guys have no idea what... Like, mind you, the whole time they're laughing because they're like, the police station is like 3-4 kilometers from where like they got me.
Yeah.
So they're like, this guy needs a lift on the way back. So he's not going to be too mad at us. And so I go to him, fuck your lift. I'm like, fuck yous. Give me my fucking shit. I'm going to take this to court. I'm going to tell them in court what yous did. Mind you, I didn't even have to bring it up because it got squashed like nothing. And so as I'm at the police station, they process me. I'm being a fucking asshole to them now because I have every single right to. They literally were playing with my life in the back of a fucking police car. It's like I didn't even do that when I was in a car when I had like no license. They have a fucking license. They have an A-class license, and they still want to fuck around in the back. Do you know what I mean? And so they almost try and do this to like teach you a lesson or some shit.
I have a feeling, yeah.
But it's
sounds
like,
a
brother,
lesson, yeah.
That's not your job. Do your job and then go home. You know what I mean? Why be a fucking bitch for? You know what I mean? Like, why be a prick for?
You got to kind of scare you a little bit.
Just
You
to
got to
play
scare
devil's
'em.
advocate, it's not going to... You're inclined to tell this story to other people, and it's like, okay, maybe when we're in this area, we'll be like a little bit more careful not to be around
I mean,
cops
of
or, like,
course, but that's not what their job is. And then that's
There are a lot of people that
the-
make the case that
and
police
it
officers
kind
should
of-
act a little like that.
It kind of ain't. I promise to you. What the role of the police has really changed over the years because Have you guys walked past some of the Darling Harbour stuff where like the first official police station was like?
No.
Did you guys see how okay, they've got old photos. If you actually go down to like Darling Harbour, they've got old photos of guys just standing there. They were actually the first
They've
official.
got a photo of a guy like pulling out someone's pants and like letting it down.
That was the first time they
There's
did
two
it.
cops having fun. Racing.
That was the first time they had like. No, back there they would have like their whole hand up his ass. So they're like, well, we're just checking organs real quick. Did you have a second kidney? Is that a third kidney? I feel. All right. All I'm trying to say is. These guys at one point or other, think about it. Police is a made up occupation. It's the same as like an ambulance driver.
What's this?
Right?
Police.
Like a paramedic and a thing. They were like made up professions that we just built up because we like, you know what? That's a good profession to build up. Let's keep that going.
They were all made up.
Huh?
They were all made up.
That's what I'm saying to you. And
No, all professions were made
but
up.
like most of them have stood like centuries and centuries, right? Like being a doctor and being like a medicine man, that's been going on for like ages. Being a leader, that's like being for like ages. But like things like police and stuff like that, that's like 100 years ago we didn't have fucking police. Like only 120 years ago in Australia did we have no police in Australia, and they had to start one in Sydney, which was the first one, and they got the photos of like these guys, and they look like Peaky Blinders. You know what I mean? Like they look like normal.
Interesting.
This is what I'm saying to you. And so it's almost like just do the job and blah blah blah. It's like yes, they got also a thing of like speak to these guys and do a bit of counselling and all of that sort of shit because they get taught in that, but that most of them don't. I've seen coppers literally take drugs on bush doves while in uniform from yeah, of course, bro. Of course. If you've never seen this, some of them are chill. Some of them are pretty chill.
That sounds pretty base.
This one time when I smoked this bong and then he took it and smoked the bigger bong, I was like, this guy's cool.
I saw a police officer once hop out of a cake and give a girl a lap dance.
Hey, you're getting arrested.
And then
if you don't give me one of those pills.
Funny enough, that guy had several hats on because I saw him as a firefighter the next day.
You sure it wasn't just yeah.
I don't know. You just want to call it and go down.
Yep, let's do it.
Thingo.
We'll give it a call.
I got a munch so bad.
Anyway, folks.
Thanks very much for jumping on.
Yeah, cheers.
Easy.
Thank you to Lochie.
I don't know whether this would come out by the end of like next week.
It'll be out on
something
Thursday.
Like that.
Or Friday.
Yeah. Zinger Box is still on September the 11th. Best dates in comedy history. September the 11th, right up to Friday the 13th. So grab tickets. Mates rates at the moment, 50% off. Use the promo code Mates rates. Come down and just support us. We're not trying to make money off this. We're not going to go and buy some brand new TNs and a brand new Shiv. But, you know, we might be able to, you know, get spending another brick for him to brick someone with. And so this will be just a complete experience. Come down and support us. It'll be really good.
And if you don't come, you're gay.
Yeah, you're double gay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Lochie McAllister.
Let's be
How about this? We just bump mics for the end of it. All right, that was pretty gay. That was triple gay.
You see our new show, Triple Gay, at Live from Christmas Island.
Triple gay, that's my new hour. All right.
Anyway.
That's pretty good.
Peace out, everybody.
Good night, folks.
There y'all.
Yo.
Thanks for coming on, Lochie.